Mike, it's a beautiful Florida afternoon. We've had a wonderful time flying 362 Delta Sierra, which is not your average DA40. Tell me why it isn't.
It's not. The airplane that we've got here today that you just got to fly is really the top of the line Diamond DA40. It's got the new Scimitar prop on it, which gives it an extra couple of knots, but it also gives it an extra couple hundred feet of climb ratio. The airplane does my flight plan this morning, 147 knots coming from Fort Lauderdale to St. Augustine, and I was only burning 10.5 gallons an hour doing it. Wonderful airplane to fly, visibility is outstanding, and we've got the Premier Edition for this particular airplane, which means better seat covers, better seating, more comfortable support in your back and for your butt where everybody gets uncomfortable. And it's just a beautiful airplane, as I think your photos are going to show everybody in the audience.
The DA40 has built up a phenomenal reputation because, first of all, we got Diamond Aircraft, which has gone through hell and high water to make sure that, one, they've got a good product, two, a safe product, and three, a fun product. I mean, it's legitimately a fun airplane to fly. It's got sticks where sticks need to go and nice big bubble canopies and a very sprightly feel to it. And, of course, on the ground, it's an absolute and utter sweetheart and not going to scare anybody. When you're trying to improve something that's already pretty darn good, what kind of engineering studies, what was it that brought you to updating the interior, the prop, and so forth?
Really what Diamond has done the very best job about is they've created the safest airplane in general aviation. If you take a look at any of the safety reviews, you'll find that the Diamond is or does have the #1 safety record for general aviation. Bar no airplane, I don't think there's an argument about that. So where do you go when you've got an airplane that flies at virtually 150 knots on 10 gallons of gas an hour, is got the #1 safety record on it, has the Garmin G1000 system in it, has the Lycoming IO360 engine, which is really the #1 engine for general aviation aircraft. It's got incredible visibility out of it. So the only place that we really see that we can improve right now is the creature comforts for the individuals that are going to be flying the airplane. So we put in better interior, made it look nicer. So it's more like getting into your Lexus or your Mercedes. Gives you that same type of feel. And we think it's going to appeal to a general or to a wider audience.
Welcome to the Aero News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource. Real-time 24/7 online audio and video programming. This is where aviation starts its day at aero-news.net.
One of the things that got my attention a couple of months ago was the announcement of air conditioning for the DA40. I mean, the DA40 is a sweet little bird, but that big bubble canopy means when things are warm, they're warm. So air conditioning, isn't that a gift from the gods?
Well, I think it is and it isn't. The air conditioning is really meant to be utilized on the ground to keep your wife or your significant other as comfortable as possible and to get somebody to go flying with you. As a hardcore pilot, we all know we're used to putting up with sweating on the ground a little bit. When you turn that air conditioner on, though, it drops the temperature in the cabin all the way down to 65 degrees. We're blowing 50 degrees actually out at the doors. It only costs $30,000 to install, and we can install it on any of the Diamond DA40 aircraft out there. So if you do have an older Diamond DA40, you're living in Texas or Florida or one of the southern states where it does get hot, you may want to consider putting an air conditioner in. They can also be financed, and we can tell you how to do that. Very easy, but we think it's certainly in South Florida, it's something you want to really consider in the summertime.
What's the installation consist of, and what's the downtime?
Downtime is approximately 2 weeks. It's got a rotary compressor on it. It requires that the cowling has to be retooled so that there is about a 6-inch dimple put into the front of the cowling. And then on the bottom, you get a scoop, kind of looks like a P-51 scoop. Makes the airplane look pretty nice and also helps to cool the airplane off.
And any waiting time or schedule to get these done?
We generally need 2 weeks wait time, or lead time, I should say. Pretty easy to do, though, and we do them on a regular basis at Premier Aircraft Sales.
You've obviously changed things on the front end. That prop bites. It really just gets in, grabs a hold of a nice piece of air, but it's also a very smooth installation for this particular aircraft. What was the process by which you selected and tested this prop system?
Realistically, Diamond did that through their engineers and their ever-increasing desire to build a better product. Diamond is always looking at ways to improve the airplanes. They work with this particular prop company to really match perfectly a new propeller for the Diamond airplane. I think they've done just an outstanding job.
Welcome to the Aero News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource. Real-time 24/7 online audio and video programming, where aviation has been getting updated for over a decade. Distributing over 11,000 stories, features, audio, and video programs every year. Only ANN covers aviation and aerospace with this much depth, insight, and expertise. Check us out on the web at aero-news.net.
What's your experience been so far with what it's adding to the airframe?
It's adding to the airframe it's adding at least 5 knots of airspeed to the airplane, and it's adding at least 200 feet of additional climb rate, which is just beautiful.
And once again, smooth.
It's very, very smooth. The smoothest prop I've experienced any of the Diamond products.
Now, is this available only for new aircraft, or is this a retrofit that can be done for current 40s?
It can be done for any of the current 40s.
How much? How long? Give me details.
I don't know. I don't have a price for you. The prop on a new airplane is approximately a $1,300 option. If you take a look at Diamonds over time, they've actually been in production now for 10 years. The first Diamond DA40 came out in the year 2000, and it is a totally different airplane, much more comfortable, much more fuel efficient, especially in miles per gallon. Really a joy to fly. You've got more room in the airplane. That extra room came from a wider canopy, and it's just a phenomenal airplane to fly. And like I said, with the safety record, it's going to be something you'll be proud to own and look forward to flying every weekend. When I first put people in the airplane for a simple demo flight, they can't believe what they're flying. And the most common factors that people come to me with are, I've never flown a stick before, and they're very, very concerned about that. And from the time they start the engine until the time they shut the engine down, they don't even realize that they're flying a stick. It's so intuitive. You point to where you want to go. It's that easy. And people love that. That surprises the heck out of them. The next thing that surprises them is the visibility. People are used to buying, a lot of people come out of Cessna 172s and are concerned about losing the visibility that they have in the 172s and being able to look down and see the ground.
Not a problem?
Not a problem, because the wing is actually behind you when you're flying the airplane. You've actually got equal, if not better, visibility in a Diamond than you do in a Cessna 172, especially when you're making that final and important turn towards the runway. You never lose sight of the runway. And people just can't believe the visibility. Think about this. You're going to fly with the same engine that's on the 172. Brand new one. They both got the G1000. They both got the GFC 700 autopilot on them. But this airplane's going to go 25 to 30 knots faster. It'll burn an extra gallon of gas to get there because it's turning a bigger propeller on it. Mm-hmm. But it is just phenomenal. From the same Lycoming IO360 engine, you get you really get Cessna 182 performance on Cessna 172 pricing.